Hi there. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Beth Aiello. I'm the one who's been contacting you about Zoom training. And so I led the Zoom training tonight, and I unfortunately forgot to hit record. So this is going to be hopefully not too awkward of a video. I am going to be just explaining everything that I went over on the Zoom call. The first part of the call that I didn't get recorded was just me talking. So hopefully this will still be a useful experience for you as you watch this. So I'm going to go ahead and just get right into it. We have some new protocols for ushers and greeters that we want to make sure everybody knows about, so that when we reopen in person, you are all familiar with what we're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And we are going to just take a look at the reopening information. So you may have already gotten this document from Rick Harrison or Jack Wrench. It has been slightly updated, and I'm just going to read through it and kind of explain things as I do. So here's our timeline. Right now, we are trying to recruit people to serve in the 3 services we have through August. So if you have signed up for maybe 1 or 2 and you want to sign up for more, the link to sign up will be given to you on the Realm site in your group. You will also receive it by email because I'm going to make a post, so you'll get that in your email as well. If you open up the document and you're not sure how to sign up, you're more than welcome to email me, beth@kingav.org, and I will sign you up for any slots that you would like. So tonight was the Zoom training. So we had a really good Q&A at the end, and we went through everything. And then this Sunday is the in-person run through. If you are planning on serving at the 9:30 service, we would ask that you come on Sunday at 9:30 for the fellowship hall. If you are planning on serving at the 8 o'clock or 11 o'clock service, we would ask that you come at 11 o'clock on Sunday, and we'll be meeting in the sanctuary. Um, and then after that, so June 14th, we will resume our in-person services. So the 8 o'clock service is going to be in the sanctuary. It will be a traditional worship service that is geared toward folks who are in that medically vulnerable category, as well as folks over 65. You don't have to go to this service, but if you would like a space that's reserved for folks who meet that description and their households, you're more than welcome to attend at 8 o'clock. At 9:30, we'll be in the fellowship hall, and at 11 o'clock, we'll be in the sanctuary. In between 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock, we have a wonderful team of volunteers who will be sanitizing the sanctuary so that 11 o'clock service can happen in a sanitized area. Some general health and safety guidelines. Please don't serve if you're feeling ill or if you've had a fever in the previous 24 hours. You can go ahead and contact Rick Harrison for the 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock services and Jack Wrench for the 9:30 service. Just let them know you won't be there because you were sick, and they will do the magic that they do to get more people to help out. For each service, the doors will open 15 minutes prior for worshipers. We're asking that greeters and ushers arrive 20 minutes prior to service so that you have a chance to get your equipment and get set up. We will not be serving any food or drink during worship or before. And we also ask that no one brings beverages with them. I'm going to mention to John and Colleen that we really need to communicate that clearly to folks so that no one is bringing coffee in, for the simple fact that it would encourage people to remove their masks, and we don't want to encourage that. We're also going to have only one set of restrooms open for each service, and all areas except worship spaces and the corridors leading to the worship spaces from the west and south doors will be closed. We'll have plenty of signage up, and staff should be ready, and ushers and greeters should be ready to just point folks in the right direction. All ushers and greeters, we're asking that you wear a cloth or disposable mask that covers your mouth and your nose, and disposable gloves while serving. If you have your own mask, you're more than welcome to bring it. Otherwise, we do have masks that we will provide for you that are specific to ushers and greeters. Ushers and greeters should wash your hands with soap and water when you arrive at church. You will receive a laminated name tag with your picture. This will be kept by each person and taken home. So we thought a laminated name tag would be great, just so that people can see your smiling face and know who you are behind your mask, basically. Especially for little ones, if they're attending church, we thought it might not be as scary if they see a name tag with a picture. That's going to be yours to keep. So you're going to be responsible for bringing it to and from church. And we're not going to have replacements. So please keep track of that and bring it with you each time you serve. Each usher or greeter will also receive each week a cloth short stole to wear to identify them as part of the serving teams. So the stole, it's kind of cool because it actually matches the masks that we're providing. It's really nice. I'll show you a picture at the end of this document. But those are going to go, they'll be clean for you each week, and they will go in a basket, in a receptacle at the end of the service. They're going to go where everybody's throwing their used masks also. Yes. Let's see. It's not required, but if you are in one of those medically vulnerable populations, or your household is, you're more than welcome to serve at that 8 o'clock service. That's reserved for folks who are, in that population. So not required by any means, but just wanted to point that out. We're going to gently encourage folks not to linger after the service so that we can avoid crowding. The less we congregate, the less chance we have to pass germs back and forth. And then let's see. Equipment. So if you're greeting, you're going to be stationed. There will only be 2 entrances to the church that are open. So the west doors and the south doors. Those are both the doors that open to the parking lot. The south doors are the ramp door. And then the west doors are just the other side of the church that opens to the parking lot. So each greeter is going to have a cloth stole and a mask, gloves, hand sanitizer, and then clean cloth masks for distribution. We're going to try to prop open all the doors when at all possible, just so that we limit contact with the surfaces. And then we're going to do a mask and hand sanitizer to everyone coming in. That if they come with their own mask, that's great. If they don't have a mask, that's when you would hand them out a mask. So it's totally okay if they want to wear their own. And we're asking everybody over the age of 2 to have a mask and keep it on the whole time. We're also encouraging folks to proceed directly to the worship space and not linger in common areas. We want to welcome people with a friendly verbal greeting and maybe a wave, rather than making physical contact with them. And we're going to wipe down the door handles when they're finished serving. For ushers, you're going to be stationed inside the worship space and maybe also in the hallways, depending on which service. The equipment you'll need are stoles and masks, gloves, and we're going to have 2 folks that have a hand counter, a clicky counter thing, and then bulletins. So our bulletins are going to be larger than normal. They're going to contain everything in the church service that you will need for the whole service long. We did that so that we could eliminate the hymnals and the pew Bibles and the cards and everything, just so that we don't have more than one person touching surfaces. We're trying to limit that as much as possible. So those have actually been removed from the pews in the sanctuary, and we won't be handing those out in the fellowship hall. So ushers, we want to welcome everybody. People are going to come in, you're going to seat them. So in the fellowship hall, the chairs have been spaced 6 feet apart. In the sanctuary, there is tape on every pew showing where people can sit that's 6 feet apart. You're going to seat family units together. And as you seat people, you're going to click that counter if you're one of the people that has a counter. And then we have a capacity of 80 for the sanctuary and 40 for the fellowship hall. So when you get to be close to about half, you're just going to either grab a staff person or just communicate with the other usher who's counting and see where they are. And when you hit capacity, you're just going to grab a King Avenue staff member. We will be around and available, don't worry. And then we'll go ahead and enact the next part of the plan. We're not expecting that folks are going to be reaching capacity the first few weeks, especially, but that's the plan just in case. Let's see. Yes, so paper bulletins, everyone's going to get. The paper bulletins will actually have a little section where if you brought your own pen, you can fill it out like a welcome card. Otherwise, we'll have online welcome cards. And then completed bulletin welcome cards can be dropped in offering baskets. We are not passing the plate anymore. For the time being, we're going to have receptacles at the back of the worship area. And we're going to have a couple ushers stationed near that so that when service lets out, people are just going to drop their offering into those receptacles. So there's no passing of the plate. And then lastly, congregants are going to place, if they borrowed a mask, we will have a basket for them to put it in on their way out. And folks should take their bulletins with them instead of returning them to a common area. So we're not going to have the recycling table that you normally would see in the sanctuary. And that's just to limit congregating, passing germs back and forth, and to limit the amount of contact people have with one another and keep them spaced out. So it's for everybody's safety. We're just going to make that temporary change. So I'm going to be sending this document out. If you would like to see a picture of our beautiful masks and stoles, here they are. So the stoles, we're going to ask that you do wear those while you serve. The mask, if you want to bring your own, using a church mask is optional. You don't have to use a church mask if you don't want to, but we do ask that you would wear a stole, just so that people can tell who the ushers and greeters are. And thank you so much to Pat Hunter for donating these items. Here's Pat at her sewing machine. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and play a couple videos for you. These videos are Usher and Greeter. It's just sort of a run through with the King Avenue staff of what it's going to kind of look like. So first we'll do the fellowship hall.
Good morning. Welcome to King Avenue.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. I need to stop sharing and share my screen and not the document. I almost messed that up. Okay, sharing screen. All right, here's our usher greeter training for the fellowship hall.
Good morning. Welcome to King Avenue. Thank you. Go ahead and put that on, and we'll give you a squirt of hand sanitizer. We're so glad you're here today. Thanks for coming. Head on down the stairs.
Enjoy worship.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is a little run through for the fellowship hall. So now we're going to go ahead and watch a run through of the sanctuary.
Hi, we're so glad you're here. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Gwen has a mask for you.
Welcome to King Avenue. Head on down the hall and there'll be someone to meet you and show you how to get in.
Thank you. Good morning.
Now, do you want to go up by the stairs or do you want to use the elevator?
Elevator, please. Good morning.
We take you to your seat. Enjoy the service. I hear the sermon is fantastic.
Okay, so those are just, whoops, some demonstrations of what it would look like to do the run through. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. So we hope to see you this coming Sunday, June 7th, for the in-person run through. I think it will be a lot easier on the day that you do usher or greet if you are able to come this Sunday. Just to run through it. It's not mandatory, but we do strongly encourage that you do attend. And like I said, at 9:30, service people come at 9:30, 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock service people come at 11 o'clock, and we will see you on Sunday. So there are 2 videos that you're going to watch. This is video 1. If you want to see the questions and answers, you can watch video 2. And if you have any questions, please feel free to either reach out to your head usher, so Rick or Jack, or you're more than welcome to email me. Like I said, it's beth@kingapp.org. I really, really appreciate you serving. You are the reason why we can meet safely. So thank you so much, and go ahead and check out the next video if you want to see our Q&A. Thanks a lot.